Were we not all taught that we were born with a conscience? Sort of like a built-in GPS that many cars are coming with now. You know? It'll direct you to where you're supposed to go. I don't have too much experience with GPSs. I understand some of them are almost perfect in getting you where you want to go. Others tend to malfunction. Some people even turn them off and get lost. But perhaps the analogy is the same with conscience. Notice all the people in today's readings went awry in some way. David, who was the shepherd king of Israel, who knew the Ten Commandments forward and backwards, ends up getting a woman pregnant and killing her husband so he could marry her. Where was his conscience? It took a Nathan to wake him up. And Paul, who I'm sure thought he was doing the right thing, ran around putting Christians in jail for a long time until Christ himself woke him up and acted as a Nathan. The woman, it says here, was a woman who had the oldest profession in the world and had a Nathan wake her up. I think the Nathan there was Jesus. She must have heard him talking in the streets to the people and realized that what he was saying applied to her as well, that the mercy of God was available. And the poor host of the meal, I don't think he had a Nathan. Jesus went to him, as he did to the woman, and tried to explain where he was going astray, but he didn't get it, as far as we know. That brings up the question, who is my Nathan? Because all of us have a GPS which can be turned off, at least in certain areas. All of us have a GPS which can malfunction because of the culture in which we live, the example of our neighbors, our own self-delusion. All of these things can set off our moral compass. And we often need a Nathan who comes to us and in some way points out where we are off the track. The Christian community should act as a Nathan, especially among ourselves. That's what fraternal correction is all about. The Christian community should speak to the world of God's will and keep the world going in the direction of God's mercy. There are people in our own lives, spouses, friends, members of the community, who often point out to us where we have lost sight of our destination, at least in some way. Are we listening to our Nathan? And what does Nathan say in all these cases? Nathan say, you may have missed the point. You may have missed the destination. You may have sinned for whatever reason, through ignorance or malice, deliberately or indeliberately, and you need to get it right. You need to experience the mercy of God, like this woman did, and act accordingly, more lovingly, even making a fool of herself at a certain sense in this reading. Who is my Nathan? Who is pointing out to me where something in my life demands admission and acceptance of the mercy of God? Who is my Nathan? And even more importantly, am I listening to my Nathan?